Welcome to Schmitt Tonight. Today, the House Ways and Means Committee exposed allegations of maybe the biggest government scandal we have ever seen. Two IRS whistleblowers who worked directly on the Hunter Biden tax, gun, and influence peddling investigation for 5 years, alleging Biden's Department of Justice, which should be independent, was anything but. Alleging Merrick Garland's DOJ took egregious steps to protect Hunter Biden from prosecution, stonewall the prosecutor, David Weiss, and ultimately protect the President of the United States from being exposed as corrupt. Now, this is a lot of information to lay out for you, but let's begin with today's press conference and Congressman Jason Smith laying out the details of these two whistleblower interviews. He starts with the charges the IRS wanted the DOJ to bring against Hunter Biden, after investigating him as best they could while being consistently sabotaged by the Department of Justice. You're about to hear the charges that were never brought against Hunter because they were denied by Biden's protectors at the DOJ.
The IRS recommended charges against Hunter Biden that included attempt to evade or defeat tax, a felony, fraud or false statements, a felony, and willful failure to file returns, supply information, or pay tax. These tax crimes cover an estimated $2.2 million in unreported tax on global income streams to Mr. Biden and his associates from Ukraine, Romania, and China.
Do those details sound like they would lead to a slap on the wrist like we saw? The two IRS whistleblowers who worked the case were interviewed for 14 hours by the House Ways and Means Committee. They say in total, Hunter and his associates took in $17.3 million in 5 years. Hunter personally got $8.3 million from China, Ukraine, and Romania over those same years, including $664,000 in cash from the Chinese, an $80,000 diamond, and a Porsche 911 sports car from China. So this is already the biggest political scandal the country has ever seen, and then you get to the tax stuff. The IRS whistleblowers say Hunter refused to pay taxes on all that dirty money, more than $2 million in taxes he did not pay. So think of the alleged crimes here: operating as a foreign agent, for one, influence peddling, evidence of his father taking massive bribes from adversarial countries, which alone is the biggest political scandal the country has ever seen. And then you finally get to tax evasion on all the corrupt money being brought in. And the DOJ swept it all under the rug, and the methods were jaw-dropping. Today, we learned the Assistant U.S. Attorney General on the case, a woman named Leslie Wolf, was the Biden's key protector. Wolf's name appears constantly throughout this deposition. Leslie Wolf allegedly fought to prevent a search of a storage unit in Northern Virginia belonging to Hunter Biden. And when the IRS investigators finally went over her head to U.S. Attorney David Weiss, the whistleblowers say Wolf called Hunter's attorneys and warned them that a search was coming so they could clear out the unit. Leslie Wolf was also critical in protecting Joe Biden from bribery and corruption allegations and evidence in a discussion about investigating that famous Hunter Biden email from the laptop, which said 10 held by H for the big guy, which everybody knows what that means. The whistleblowers from the IRS allege that Leslie Wolf stops in a meeting and says, "We're not asking. I don't want to ask about the big guy." And everyone in the room, they continue, except for the prosecutors, had a big problem with that. Leslie Wolf said this multiple times, according to the whistleblowers. "I don't want to talk about Dad. I don't want to talk about the big guy." It's peppered in through several pages of this very long testimony. And with that, you have a much better understanding of how all of this happened, how Hunter Biden got the slap on the wrist, how all of this evidence of influence peddling and corruption is just being ignored. You're getting a better picture of how fake all of this is, how politically corrupted all of this is. And it doesn't stop with Leslie Wolf. Evidently, Hunter's prosecutor, David Weiss, the Trump-appointed guy, tried to bring real charges to Hunter Biden in D.C. and California in 2022 and was denied by the DOJ. They just said no. Tried to do it in D.C., nah. California, nah. He then tried to go to the top, to Merrick Garland, and to the top brass of the DOJ, because he said he needed special counsel status. He needed a way to get around all the corrupt partisans that we know exist, certainly at the D.C. office for the FBI and the DOJ. He wanted a way to find justice, and he needed special counsel status to do that. They said no. Which now makes this moment with Merrick Garland, sworn before Congress, much more interesting.
The U.S. Attorney in Delaware has been advised that he has full authority to make those kind of referrals that you're talking about, or to bring cases in other jurisdictions if he feels it's necessary. And I will assure that if he does, he will be able to do that.
So could that have been felony perjury by the Attorney General? We'll see. As recently as yesterday, Democrats were gloating that U.S. Attorney David Weiss was a Trump appointee and brought the charges against Hunter, and this is it. The media was bragging that all of this proves that Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, they're just so clean. This is how it sounded.
Investigation was led by the U.S. Attorney for Delaware, David Weiss,
Who was he appointed by?
He was appointed by former President Donald Trump.
David Weiss, the U.S. Attorney in Delaware who led the probe, was appointed by then President Trump.
The probe was led by the U.S. Attorney for Delaware, David Weiss, who was, we should point out, appointed by former President Trump.
So sad. If you're consuming mainstream media, God help you. Now we see it didn't matter who was investigating Hunter Biden. When the DOJ blockades him, the case is over before it begins. And now the media and the American left, so blind to reality, can rest easy knowing that their president is still the noble statesman that they thought he was, a true patriot, unlike that awful Donald Trump who stole those documents. You want to see just how clean the Biden family is, how uncorrupt they are? How about this text message to Henry Zhao, who is a Chinese Communist Party official? This is Hunter Biden texting a CCP official. I'm sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled. Tell the director that I would like to resolve this now before it gets out of hand, and now means tonight. And Z, if I get a call or text from anyone involved in this other than you, Zhang, or the chairman, I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me, Joe Biden, and every person he knows, and my ability to forever hold a grudge, that you will regret not following my direction. I am sitting here waiting for the call with my father. That is a text message from the IRS agents that investigated Hunter Biden for 5 years. And this story is nowhere else to be found. Nobody will cover it. That's the country you live in.